Yo, it's your boy Rockstar Major. You tuned in with 91 television, iconic TV.
Rockstar Major. Where you from, bro?
I'm coming in from Washington, D.C. Born and raised in the District of Columbia.
District of Columbia. Okay.
Yep.
I had some close friends of mine in high school that moved out here from D.C. So the only thing I really know about D.C., they said this all the time, 10th and Gangster.
10th and Gangster?
What does that mean?
That's a neighborhood. That's
okay.
a project. Like, you know, mainly like it's a no feast. It's a project. It's got some good guys over there. So I'm familiar with it.
Guys. What part are you from?
I'm from Southwest Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? I'm down by the National Stadium, probably like 15 minutes away from the White House.
Okay. So what was life growing up like in D.C.?
Well, shit, for me, I guess, you know, every day, you know, coming from the household that I come from, you know, you get to see, you know, different things from, you know, bums, aunts and uncles, you know, maneuvering, you know, in society. You know what I'm saying? You know, I played ball, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad, you know, I had a couple of hardships and calamities, you know what I'm saying, that I was faced with as a adolescent, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was alright. Wasn't that bad.
How would you say that growing up in D.C. shaped your personality as a man?
Well, it took for me to lose a couple of people. Outside of me being raised by, you know, majority women, you know what I'm saying? That's what kind of formed me into becoming a man. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really had no man in the house, so I had to, you know, turn to my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Before he got killed or the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Were you an only child?
No, I got brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters. Where do you fall at? Youngest, oldest, in the middle?
I'm the youngest.
Okay. Well, so tell me what that's like being a baby.
I get whatever I want.
So you spoiled and proud of it.
Yeah.
Everybody probably took care of you. Ain't nobody mess with you. Okay.
For sure. No, I mean, when you say took care of me or mess with me, what you mean by that?
Like, did you always have your older brothers and sisters there? So
no, like, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Like I got the worst of it. Like when it come from, you know, my siblings, but. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. That's another part of what made me who I am today. So
your siblings?
Yeah, I had to go through a lot because they knew that if I was told no where I was going at, and you know, she wasn't there all the time. My mother, you know what I'm saying. Mom Dukes was incarcerated. You know what I'm saying. So
was there an age gap, a big gap between you and your siblings, or were you kind of like?
Nah, so I'm like, shit, like 6 or 7, okay. Like 6 or 7 years apart, except for I think like one of them, maybe like 31, something like that, 32.
Right. But it wasn't like you just had that best friend, buddy, your age type growing up.
Nah, he got killed. He got my cousin. He got killed. That's the only one. Yeah. Like I lost my very first best friend like that I ever met. He died in a car crash on his way to Atlanta with his grandfather. They rode over the water.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
So, that was like the first tragic that I actually took at the age of 6.
6. Yeah, you remember it from even being that young.
Yeah.
Did it change your personality at all?
I mean, it made me like more quiet. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like when you got the good guy and you got the bad guy, which some people would say like the brains and the muscle. I was always the brains. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my guy, he was the muscle. So you know, me being a pretty boy, dressing nice because of where I come from, nice family background. You know, I took a lot. You know, as far as getting picked on, and you know what I'm saying, I went through that.
Jealousy.
Yeah, I went through
That's
that.
all it really be at the end of the day, most times.
I went through it all, man. For real.
So what was an average day like for you as a kid?
Playing basketball.
Yeah.
Playing baseball, playing football. You know, I was like ranked in my city. Nice. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the elite, you know, adolescents coming from Southwest Washington, D.C., representing number 4 Metropolitan Boys and Girls Club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I looked up to, you know, the favors of, like, AI. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to follow that trend and be my own man when it came to sports. You know what I'm saying?
You did sports your whole school career?
Yeah, I mean, like, far as, like, when it came to school, I stopped playing ball, like, once I got like the junior high school, I lost the championship. I took my team all the way to the championship, caught the game-winning touchdown, right? And we lost in the championship. And before that, I had like scholarships and stuff. I caught a kidnapping charge at the age of 14 and lost him. You know what I'm saying? And from right there, I was like blackballed. So I had like high school coaches coming to watch me play on the streets until I was able to get in an alternative school, which is called Luke Seymour Academy. But that was one of the only schools willing to accept me.
Okay. So, was music always a presence in your life?
Yeah, I've been doing music since I was 7.
Since you were 7, so very early. Did you and your cousin do any music at all?
That's why I actually got inspired from him. We never did music together, but everything my cousin George wanted, everything that he did, I wanted to do. Like that's why I said, like, he was like Jordan. I felt like I was like AI, like, you know, before the Kobe. So whoever became Kobe, which would be my man Kurt, he wound up getting killed. It fell in that favor in 2005, you know what I'm saying? So I just tried to carry the torch, you know, to my best ability.
Gotcha. So what was music, what did it mean to you at the age of 6 and 7? What did music mean?
It was everything. Like, looking up, like, you got cats like, you know, Bow Wow. You got cats like Romeo. You got cats like Lil Sammy. You know, you catch Lil Zane. You know what I'm saying? You catch the old Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? These to me, these was guys that I admired. So watching them, you know, from outside of me watching sports, from the guys that I like, Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, guys like that, Michael Vick, it was like, oh, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the chains and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you get fascinated by it. But then it's the lifestyle that you actually live that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? That we'll never know if we want to become accustomed to that or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that wound up going. I took a liking to the music at an early age, real early.
So when did you start making music?
Like actually recording? I probably
or even just freestyling, writing, but like actually practicing.
I started at 7. I used to be they used to do like family days down my way, like they still do it up until now, you know what I'm saying? I used to be rapping during family days at the age of 7, you know what I'm saying? The DJ would be playing the music, I'd be kicking my freestyles, I got everybody around me throwing their hands up even though I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just going, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they was feeling it. All the way up until I say like all the way until I got locked up in 2011 because I ain't know nothing about writing songs. You know what I'm saying? I never wrote a song before until I got locked up. I was always the one that freestyle. You know, I got my big cousin and them. They be rapping when we be going to school out front. You know, you got the dudes that rap, you got the cats that sing, the ones that do the tricks, and then the girls with the gimp. Like it was all that walking up to junior high school or elementary school, and you know, shit, you're like, man, you gotta get in because you know the sports is sports. That's one thing I'm known for that. So me being with them, that wasn't gonna do me no justice. I already had that type of, you know, what they consider clout or fame right there. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna try to get in with the older guys and try to rap and see how many other girls I can steal right quick. You know
so you said that you didn't really learn how to write a song until you got locked up. Was this the same situation that kind of took you out of sports for a little while?
No, that was just now. The first situation I was in junior high school, I was 14. That's what took me away. Like I was still freestyling from probably like 2004, right, all the way to 2011.
So at 14, what led you down that path to getting in trouble?
Shit, watching my cousin die. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's different. Like, and then like it ain't like I got the best, you know, upbringings in the house. You know, grandma, you know, kind of chastised me. You know what I'm saying? I was living, you know, one of my brothers during the time he was about to get ready, you know, go to college. You know what I'm saying? So I was going through it, man. I was going through a lot, bro. I was going through a lot. That actually deviated me from going straight, you know what I'm saying? That forced me to take the street because I was like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Mom's locked up, you know what I'm saying? For whatever she was doing, calling herself, you know, trying to provide for us, you know what I'm saying? So I had to take that shit and roll with it.
I feel like a lot of young black men kind of fall into that trap of, you know, tragedy happens, and you know, as black men being an adult, they don't really let you express your feelings and everything. So as a, you know, a young black kid, I'm pretty sure you didn't have that outlet or anyone to just really talk to. What does that do to you as a kid?
Nah, I like, see, I had it. I had everybody. I had everybody in my corner. The thing is, was it real? Was it genuine? Were those words that you was using to encourage me to do better? was you using those same words to get you to where you got at? Versus you just telling me something, if I adhered to it and listened or not, to go forward? You know what I'm saying? Because from me to you, I could be living out your dream by you telling me something that you never did, but only want to see it through me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where some of us go wrong with.
Projecting. This is what we want for you, even though we're not being that example.
My point exactly. And then even though that is not bad, you know what I'm saying? But I had the corners, I had the ears, I had the boys and girls clubs, I had the any street dude big time that you could think of from my city. I had them coming to me, shawty, do this, do that, giving me money to go to school and play ball, like, you know what I'm saying, telling a nigga you gonna be alright. But during that time, ain't nobody trying to hear that, because you doing the same shit that I'm probably on my way to doing.
Right.
Even though you trying to stop me, but are you really trying to stop me, or you trying to stop me from taking your spot, bitch nigga?
I feel that. Okay, so that was at 14 and everything. You said that kind of took you away from sports. You ended up getting back into sports a little bit later.
Nah, once I turned 14, I think the last time that I played ball was in 2008.
Okay.
That's the last time, 2008. So about 16 was the actual last time. I've been playing ball since I was 5. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
If we put you out there right now, you still gonna go hard?
Man, I go hard. I just won early national championship incarcerated. For real.
Okay. Alright, so after that and everything, sports are kind of off the table. What was next in life?
Shit. Man, next, outside of doing the music, you know, I gave them people a run for their money out there.
But at this point, at 14, you knew you wanted to do music.
Man, I knew I wanted to do music at 7. It's just like, it was just like, what?
Right.
It was like, what? Like, do a person want to keep on hearing a little kid use the phrase nigga every time he rap? Because that's the only word that seemed like I knew, because that's all I heard.
So you said when you got locked up, I'm assuming this was the second time, this is when you learned how to write a song.
Yeah, this was just in 2011.
Okay.
And I ain't been home until 2018 until now. So I've been home about 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? I've been home 3 years right now.
Okay, so take us through that experience. You had to sit down and do some time.
Yeah, I
real time
for a murder. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did some real time. And what was the experience like being in there?
I mean, for my first time, was I afraid? Yeah, because you know nobody never expecting to be gone away from their family that long. That's one. 2, running into my friends that I came encounter with at a young age, it was kind of disheartening, because I always wanted to be the one not to have to go through that, and for some way, somehow, I still, you know, managed to do it through my situation. You know, meeting people in prison, you know, probably was one of the best things that happened to me. Actually going to prison was probably one of the best things that happened to me. The only reason why I'm saying that, because it gave me a chance to dissect life, right, and find out my purpose, instead of just trying to be with the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? It helped me stand out more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't had to worry about, even though I was the man, I ain't had to worry about being the class clown no more. I was the nigga telling the class clown, like, yo, chill, bro, I ain't gonna lie you on that.
So how long did you have to sit in prison before your mindset changed?
Well, I mean, the moment that they gave me, you know, the moment that they gave me the time for real, you know, I started studying my religion. You know what I'm saying? I'm Muslim. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, like, I started studying my religion, and you know, reading certain things, and you know, watching people act a part of some of the things that they say out their mouth, and reading it. It made me want to, like I said, be different. It made me want to stand out. You know, cleanliness next to godliness. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to learn proper ways to, you know, purify myself without having to look forward to somebody doing something for me. Well, all I knew that if I ain't got me, then I could call on that man upstairs and he was gonna make sure I was alright.
Okay. So, was this always your religion, or is this a newfound religion that came?
This my religion my whole life. My mother and my father were Muslim.
Where did that come from? Because so many of us, we are just forced into Christianity. Where did your parents' beliefs come from to get that passed on to you?
I guess it was like a ritual from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I guess like during the 80s or something, I guess everybody started, you know, crossing over to the nation. You know what I'm saying? I guess from when you read, you know, from scriptures of that, and then you study, you know, our Islam, and you start seeing the difference, it make you cross over one more time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And accept the
Okay, before we get back into the music, what is the most valuable thing that you have learned from your religion?
The most valuable thing that I've learned from my religion?
That if you could pass on to anybody else, this is what you would pass on from being Muslim.
No matter what you do, pray. Pray and seek forgiveness. I mean, no matter what you do, because if a prayer come in at 5:45 and you out there on the block, if you walk off at 5:43, you might ain't worried about getting shot at 5:47. You know what I'm saying? So sticking to the script is what's going to be the main thing when it comes to your religion and life, and not go above it or below it for nobody. Nobody.
Okay. So tell me about how you learned to write songs in prison.
Oh, this a good one right here. So it actually came about. I'm gonna say this, rest in peace to Fat Ed. He from up 640, uptown Washington D.C. He inspired me. So coming from off the streets, as I was telling you before I got locked up, I was listening to this cat, and I never knew nothing about him. And he had bars, hella bars, crazy. He put them together left to right. And I wound up getting locked up and got placed in a hole, you know what I'm saying? And excuse me, one of the guards found out who I was, and I was asking them, who y'all got over there on the other side? I want to come over there. They like, Mac, you know we ain't bringing you over there, man, woo, woo. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to find out, do y'all got this kid named Ed over there? He called himself Easy to God. He the truth. I give him that. They was like, yeah, he over there. I was like, man, well, look, if you can, I'm trying to hear the kid rap. I've been listening to him, and he older than me, so as you hear me saying kid, it's just me saying this. He older than me. He way older than me. I was like, I'm trying to get over there so I can hear him rap. And it was like, man, we don't be doing that for people. And, he insisted he was going to move me over if I stayed out of trouble. And he put me right in front of Fat Ed. And I had, acknowledged the fact of me listening to him and gave him his respect and his credit, because, most of us don't do that. And, he had rap for me. And he was rapping and he was rapping. So as he rapping, you listening to the words and they coming out too perfect. They coming out too perfect. So I said, unless he memorized every line like this, I don't think this cat is freestyling the way he telling people that he freestyling. Okay, so make a short story shorter, they had a guard that was rapping over there, right? So him and the guard used to go back and forth with the freestyles, from what I thought was the freestyles. And one night it came about when, he called Fat Ed out and they caught him off guard. And he stumbled on a word and couldn't finish the rap and was trying to catch it at the door. And I was like, yo, like, what's up? Like, you making me look bad. And he was like, man, I don't be freestyling. Won't you get your little ass up at the door and rap? And I was like, damn, bruh, like, I don't do stuff like that all over the joint. But I said that to say that from right there, that's when I knew that he wrote to perfect his craft. And from that day, that night, I've been writing ever since. I'm telling you, I've been writing ever since, and I was I don't even know what I was writing. I was ass. Hey, I was ass, bro. You hear me? I ain't even know what I was writing. I might read the newspaper and just try some stuff. Write something about tropical birds and make sure that it's all in the same meaning, or look at CNN and write something about the news, just the hook, and see if I can formulate the words that go with it from the thesaurus. And man, once I hit the federal system, out the feds, and them wars and stuff was going on with the black and the police, and it was a lot. And I was like, damn, like, what's a better way for you to change your perspective on life? Because, they say the pen more mightier than the sword. You know what I'm saying? And I always keep that bitch with me. I keep my pen with me wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? And, from right there, man, I started writing. I used to call like 13 different people from 13 different cities and states and ethnicities to come in my room to listen to my music. Some of them told me it was cool. Some of them told me it was ass in a sense of playing. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, they laugh me out to this day. All my homies, I'm still in cahoots with them, doing life, whatever. Shorty, I remember you used to tell me that you was gonna go out there and be a rapper. I was listening to that bullshit back there. And I'd be like, now look at us, you know what I'm saying? So that drive, me knowing that he messed up and it didn't take away from him, it forced me to capitalize off that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you could become better. And that was like my main thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, shit, when he writing, he just rapping. You know, I got a little voice, I can sing a little bit. Let's see if we could put, you know, 2 and 2 together and make 4. And see what we get from that. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your writing process like now?
Hey, this shit crazy now. Hey, my writing process right now is crazy. It's just that my mind jump off the wall. Like sometimes I be having to like turn myself down a little bit. Like, so I don't even need no beat to write a song, bro.
I was gonna say, like in prison, you can't get on YouTube and find beats. So like, where did the inspiration come from? And now that you are free and out here doing your thing, do you just write and then put with a beat later?
That shit come from the heart. Like, you know, you sit on this table right here, and I could hit one of my songs for you off the table the same way how I hit it if I was in the cell 10 years ago. Like, and it's the same way. Like, that's the main thing. Like, and I was just telling my people that gotta stick to the script. You can't change nothing in life, because if it's working and it's getting you there, it ain't no need to change it. So for me being locked up, not hearing instrumentals until now, there's nothing for me to change. The world just become more spacious to me now, and I get to see more, I get to eat a little more, I get to touch a little more, feel a little more, smell different shit now compared to what I was just doing. So that's the only difference. I lie to you now, I don't give a fuck with nobody. Say I treat the world like the compound. Can't nobody fuck with me. I'm talking about for real, on my own time. I treat the world like the compound. And anybody that know that, they'll understand this shit when you start operating like you done did time. It's gonna keep you out the way. And you're gonna focus on you. You're gonna touch that inner shit that ain't nobody never gonna touch, and can't nobody come in between except for you.
Okay, so what are you currently working on? Any projects or singles?
I got singles coming out. So right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna say this, you know what I'm saying, before we cut it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Uncle Genuine, you know what I'm saying, on behalf of him. I wouldn't be close to, you know, where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been on tour with him for the last several months. You know what I'm saying? I done opened up for him once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Man.
What's some of the biggest things you've learned from being on tour and working close with him?
His showmanship, the sportsmanship, the charisma, the enthusiasm. Like, it's all there. You know what I'm saying? The character. You know what I'm saying? It's all there. And I think, like, that's why I was put here, because I always was subjected to being around old people. I wasn't the little nigga hanging around little niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't make me no lesser than you or no bigger than you, but that wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Before we do get out of here, do you have any bars that you can share with us? Maybe one of your favorite verses, or maybe something unreleased? I'm a hip hop fan, man. Bars.
Alright, I say, there's nowhere to hide, yeah. When the streets is calling your name, there's nowhere to hide, yeah. When the streets is calling your name, there's nowhere to hide, yeah. When the streets call your name, yeah. When the streets is calling your name, there's nowhere to hide, yeah.
Flexing the vocals too. He said he could sing, you know, not everybody really can sing when they say that. Alright, I got 2 more things to throw at you before we get out of here. I'm real big on manifesting and speaking things into existence. Tell me right now, tell your fans, tell the audience, what can we expect in the next 5 years from you? I want you to speak that into existence for us.
The next 5 years right now, this might sound crazy, but I always wanted to be Michael Jackson, man. So You catch me, Rockstar Major, this guy, again, coming from Washington, D.C., living out the American dream. Because anybody could have been here from where I'm from. It's a lot of big names. And a lot of people had this opportunity and didn't cherish it, right? So I want y'all to expect the dedication, the love, the support from me, from y'all, back to y'all, right? I got projects coming out, to satisfy the people. I got movies coming out to satisfy the people. But with satisfaction if you're not satisfied within? So when it comes to the world, I'm bringing y'all all of me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asking for nothing in return but love and peace, man.
All right, now one more time, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, follow you, all of that, and just let the people know what they need to know about you before you get out of here.
It's your boy Rockstar Major. We coming in from Washington, D.C. again. Y'all heard me say it. I'm a young kid living out the American dream, man. You can follow me on Instagram at RCK StarLife3. Again, RCK StarLife3. And my other page is the Rockstar Major Official. ROCKSTAROFFICIAL. Rockstar Major Official. And from this point forward, y'all just get ready, to see better content. You know what I'm saying? More laughter. More love. Man, it's a lot, bro. Like, it's so much. Like, I feel like I'm trying to say some stuff that I'm not even supposed to say. Like, I'm for real. Like, I don't want to say the craziest thing because we on wax. But, man, y'all get ready for me, man. Like, my heart this big. You hear me? My heart this big to the world, right? But I can't say the world, you hear me? So whoever listening to me, whoever watching me, that kid that came from nothing like me, that every time somebody tell you that you can't do it, you ain't gonna be nothing, you ain't gonna amount to nothing, keep going, please. Because I'm living proof of being a product of my environment, and that's from the heart. They told me I wasn't gonna live to see 16. My grandmother told me that. I wasn't gonna make it to see 16, and she died before me, man. One of the most hurtfulest things that could happen to a man behind a wall. So if you out there and you watching this, believe in yourself, if not nothing else, man. And I promise you it's gonna get you somewhere. It start with the thought, it end up with a vision. And once you put it on paper, you can live that shit. Major.